Howdy diddly dandy there, chums. 'Tis I, Captain of the Steves, and today, chums, for you guys in the viewerverse. Now, you've probably already seen my previous video. I've got the Dream Aerial, and this is footage of when I picked up my Dream Aerial, but this is in my expedition save. Only people out there inside of the viewerverse. So here we go, let's hit on up the console, and this was the magic moment. And something to note here is it does actually say it in the expedition log. You'll see it jump up quite quickly, but there it is. Dream Aerial was in the top area there. Anyhow, now we've got our Dream Aerial. This video is how the fudge do you build it, because you need solar mirror and living glass. Now this is inside of the expedition. So during the expedition you will have missions to put down certain desks, and one of those desks is a scientific terminal. So you start putting in your base specialists. So just go through your expedition, and even if it gets all the way to the end and it converts to normal save, that might be the best time to do this, but you can do it halfway through the expedition like I am right now. So basically we need to be able to install this by the end of the video with those bits of technology, a solar mirror and living glass. I'm going to show you how to get the living glass and the solar mirror in this episode. So hang on to your seats, people in the viewerverse, heck yes. So during the expedition you are going to be given an overseer's desk as one of your specialists. The overseer, once you've got that desk in, he's going to ask you to go and recruit a scientist, and then you get the scientist in, and then you do some of the missions for the actual scientist. Now the scientist will have his core removed and he would ask you to go do a mission. Once you do the mission, there's like a 2-hour sort of timer on it. When you go back to him, he's going to give you a secondary mission, the scientist. And sadly, that secondary mission for me sent me to a volcano. And the building that I need to go into has been freaking eaten up by the volcano. So I couldn't get into the marker. So I'm going to show you how to get around that as well, people. But anyway, what you want to do is try to get as many of your specialists installed inside of your freighter as possible, and that's all triggered from your overseer's desk inside of your freighter. So the overseer will ask you to put in to get such and such resources, like to get the weapons terminal. You're going to need some pugnium from killing sentinels, and that's going to get your weapons agent in there. You're going to have to get solarium to get your actual botanist in there for all the planty type stuff. You can see here I'm trying my best to get into this poxy building. It's not happening. But afterwards you're going to have all your specialists in there. Exocraft guy, don't really worry about his missions. Just leave him alone. Don't bother with him, because some of them are tied to each other. It's like the scientist works with the botanist to give you some of the blueprints. So you may have to, if you get stopped halfway through your scientist mission, go back to your botanist, talk to him, or if not, go to your overseer, talk to him. And it's just about finding the marriage between the different sort of desks. So here we go. I've gone back to this chap. I can't move this mission forwards. It's completely freaking stuck right now, and I can't quit it from this menu. Normally you can hold R3 in and delete it and then start over, but that only happens if you warp a certain distance away. But I'm going to show you how to do it really quickly and easily in a bit. But here we go. I've gone back to see the overseer, and he's asking me to get some microprocessors and get a weapons terminal in and all sorts of other shenanigans. Now I can't do this one either, because my scientist mission hasn't moved on a level. I can't get the microprocessors needed to then get my botanist in. So I'm a little bit at a stuck point at this point. So instead I do a weapons terminal. Instead I get the weapons terminal in. So here we go. I need pugnium and I need chromatic metal. So I go off on a little bit of a side jaunt and I get that done. And the actual weapons terminal guy, he's quite separate in his missions as well. So the two Vikings, you got the exocraft guy and the weapons terminal guy, I don't really see too much marriage going up with their missions, but the botanist and the scientist guy and the overseer, you may have to be doing each of those like nested, and sort of doing a little bit for the botanist guy, then doing the overseer, then doing a little bit for the scientist guy. And if one of those missions gets stuck, you get stuck. Okay, so as a side tip, rather than go and shoot sentinels in your expedition save with a multi-tool that's worse than a freaking Nerf gun, go into your freighter, wait for NPC ships to fly in, go chat to one of the little pilots that comes with it. There you go. Hello there, my little friend. Wow, you look like you've had your skin peeled off your face. Right, and there you go. Pugnium for sale. A lot of them are going to sell pugnium. It's a snazzy little tip, that, isn't it? There you go. Right, another little tip with using sort of visitors to places is at stations. Sometimes the visitors to stations, the traders there, they're going to sell you solar mirrors. Another good place to get solar mirrors is minor settlements. Now you can find them with charts and things, but sometimes it's just easy just to fly over a planet and spot one. If you are going to go looking for one on a planet, I like to choose moons because they're a lot smaller, they're a lot more condensed, so it means the buildings are going to be closer together. The chance of spotting one on a moon is very more likely, plus you can just hit scan all the time as you're flying over. So here we go, I'm getting all the desks in and I'm slowly building this out. So I've got all my specialists in. So it's just a case of getting the overseer and making sure you recruit an overseer, and from there just following the missions. And yeah, I'm fairly sure if you do get stuck, I'm fairly sure if you put a comment on this video to say where you're stuck, somebody out there in the viewerverse, if not me, will probably help you out with wherever you're stuck at. Also, Reddit's a good place for this sort of thing as well. Put it up there where you get stuck, maybe put in a screenshot and that'd help you out. But these missions are fairly simple. I mean, yes, I got that mission where I got stuck in a volcano, so I'm kind of glad I did, because I'm going to show you how you get around that in this video, people. Now, in expedition mode, I already had the hazmat gauntlets as a blueprint. I had to make the gauntlets, but they were there, which is pretty darn sweet. Now I can put in the agricultural terminal for my little farmer guy, and that's kind of where you need to be. So if we can get that mission unstuck with the scientist, then we can move it on and hopefully get the recipe for the living glass. Once you've got the recipe for living glass, you're pretty much done, because after you've got this built out and you've put in the little 4 troughs and things, you already get the blueprint for the lubricant off the little chappie out there, which is freaking great. So yeah, it all just sort of melds together, just doing these specialist missions, just try to move them on little by little, and you're slowly going to get there, people. Heck yes you are. Now that mission that I've got completely stuccated, we need to get to that and we need to get it unstuck. But just to draw your attention to what I've got inside of this farming area is I've already planted out some gamma root and some cauperite. The gamma root you get off of gamma planets, the radioactive planets, and the cauperite is just fecium. Now you can make fecium, if you get some fecium or even some mordite, get mordite, you can turn that into fecium. You get mordite from just killing creatures. So just get a little bit of fecium and put it in with some oxygen. Fecium and oxygen in your refiner, and you're going to make loads and loads and loads of fecium. You can just keep getting the fecium, putting it back in the other place, and yeah, you can make your fecium. So that's how I got the cauperite. The gamma root, I've just got that from gamma plants. Planted all that out. I've got 2 frost crystal plants in there, but you can make glass anyway. He gives you the recipe for glass for using silicate powder. You just put silicate powder into your large refiner, and it makes you a shed load of glass. So easy peasy to get glass. It's the living variety of glass that's harder, especially if we can't get the recipe for living glass because of our scientist mission is completely foobarred, which is where I'm at right now, and I'm running around like a headless chicken thinking, I can't abandon this mission, what can I do about it? And that's where I came up with a bright idea, because you've got to warp millions of miles away before it actually lets you abandon the mission. So here we go. So as long as you've got multiplayer on and the Discovery servers are up, you can go to featured bases. Beeblebum's base, the Big Bridge base, the third one over, is actually in Eisentam, a completely different galaxy, or universe, whatever you want to call them, dimension even. So yeah, now, because I'm in Eisentam, not Euclid, hopefully I can abandon it. So I've gone over to log, and look, yes I can. Holding down R3 on PlayStation, yeah, hold that in. I can then restart the mission. Heck yes I can. So there you go, hover over it, hold that in for a while. And I guess you could do that with any stuck mission. So if you do get stuck, just use another player's base in another galaxy, dimension, universe, whatever, and jump over. And right now we're lucky because we've got Beebles, which is in a completely different galaxy, Eisentam, and you can just jump over there. Super smashing great. Awesome. Cool. If you can't find a base, or, it's rotated out by the end of all this expedition-y stuff or whatever, I suppose you can use the intergalactic taxi service to Uber you into another galaxy, and the same thing should apply. Or you just need to warp a massive swathe of distance, so maybe going through a black hole might do it. I don't know. But yeah, then you're going to get some broken tech. Okay, because I warped using the Nexus, I could just return straight to the Nexus, and now I can go back over to my scientific guy and start that mission over. Yeah, so where's my scientific guy? There you go, the mission is now reseticated. I'm just checking, making sure that there's no other volcanic planets in this bloody system, because wouldn't it be my luck that I go and get another sort of spawn point, and it's stuck in another frickin' volcano. Right, come on then, chappy. Give me a location that I can actually go to this time. That'll be swimmingly nice of you. Right, okay, awesome. Pow, pow, bum bum. And it sent me to a new direction and a new coordinate and a new planet. So hopefully there won't be a volcano sitting on top of the building. Right, well, flying in, this is looking promising. Lovely. And I do like touching down by all these different buildings because we can hit on up the save points here and get free navigational data. And now I still haven't managed to find myself a crashed ship inside of this save. So all this navigational data is going to help me a lot on my expedition as a bit of a side tip. Anyhow, let's head on inside of the building, and this is the actual scientific. I think the reward from this one is where I actually get gifted the recipe for living glass. We will see. I think it's a scientific mission, not 100% sure. Let's head on in, let's hit on up the console, complete this part for data entry. So the first mission you get for your scientist is he takes out his core. And you have to go to a building and upload his core, then come back to him and reboot him. He takes about 2 hours to reboot. So during that 2 hours reboot time is where I went and visited the Gamma planet. I got all the corporite and I planted out all my farm plants inside of all those sort of trays, which you get during the expedition anyway, and all the plant recipes. So yeah, you have to wait till you get to that stage in the expedition at least. Right, there we go. Living glass. Excellente. And that's kind of where this ends, because now I can make the living glass because I've got all the plants to do so. There or thereabouts. And yeah, because to make the lubricant you need a heck of a lot of gamma root, far more than what I've got planted. Yeah, so I might have to go back to a gamma planet. So I'll show you how to find a gamma planet in a moment. But there we go. I'm going to pick all of these, and I hopefully can make at least one lubricant and one living glass, and then I might have to go down to the gamma planet to make the rest. So the way that I'm finding actual gamma planets on planet surfaces. Oh yeah, by the way, look, there's little blue buttons on the floor panels. When you hit those, it actually harvests all plants in the nearby vicinity. I'll do it again. So here we go. There it is. Boom. Awesome. Love that. I didn't notice the blue buttons. That got pointed out to me a little while ago by Archangel. So yeah, thank you very much, my friend. Right, okay, so head on into here, craft your lubricant, pow pow, and yeah, done. So there's one lubricant. I can make one living glass with everything that I've got in my freighter. So I could wait for like 3 to 4 hours for all those plants to grow back, or whatever the grow times is. But you know what? No, I'm just going to go to a gamma planet, and we're going to hit up gamma plants, because yeah, I've got enough Fecium, got shed loads of shite on me. So yeah, go to do all the gamma root. So yeah, so if you've got a little bit of Fecium, like I say, in your big refiner, or your large refiner, put in some of the oxygen and also Fecium, and it's going to make more and more Fecium. It's like 4 Feciums for the oxygen. It's craziness. Easy, so you can just make infinite as long as you've got the oxygen to do so anyway. Righto, so brilliant. Now I've gone into my catalogue. If I select gamma, which I'm after, the gamma root, now when I go to the galactic map will actually show me the system nearby that has got gamma root. So there we go, look, you can see it on the screen there. Gamma is in that system. And then it's just a case of finding the planet in the system that's got gamma on. For me, I had a frickin' freighter interaction though, a frickin' battle going on, so now it's like moving through frickin' taffy. It's like I'm at slug speed. It took me ages to get to that frickin' planet. Lucky for you, power of editing, I'm there already. Now as you're flying over the planet, hopefully you're going to be able to spot gamma root anyhow. And also, like I said, keep an eye out for either a large archive, like the Colossal Archives, or a minor settlement. Both have got high chances of selling the actual solar mirrors that you need. Okay, so yeah, look out for those. If you can't find either of those, you can use planetary chart maps. You should have quite a lot of navigational data if you've been picking up in stations, or if you've been hitting up all the save points like I mentioned in this video, you should have quite a lot of navigational data. Just keep in mind you've got to find that crash ship as well, so maybe only do half your stash. Anyhow, let's run around and let's pick up all these plants. I get lucky though, I spot myself a minor settlement. This is quite a small sort of gamma planet really, relatively, but you just scan as you're flying over, just use your scanner every now and again. It's going to pick up buildings, there's quite a probable chance one of them is going to be a minor settlement or a colossal archive. Colossal archives you can see from a colossal freaking distance, so there is that as well. Also, I've had a little bit of luck inside of stations getting these solar mirrors, so you get a lot of traders just visiting stations. Just talk to them, and hopefully one's going to sell you a solar mirror. Sometimes the Galactic Trade Terminal is even in stations. I've found solar mirrors there as well. So yeah, there is that. I think, if I'm right in saying, the very first system that you start in, I think sells solar mirrors. I can't be 100% sure on that. But yeah, if you're really struggling, maybe hit that up. I mean, there's going to be traders landing there anyway. They might have the solar mirrors if the Galactic Trade Terminals don't. But here we go. I've got myself a solar mirror. Heck yes, I have. I'm going to buy the amino chamber as well. Now, what you can do is you can go out into your ship, jump in your ship, out of your ship, create an autosave, reload your autosave, go back over to him, and it'll be replenished. Or, actually, there might be a timer on these guys. I'm not sure if they work the same way as they do in stations. So, yeah, I'm not 100% sure. If it's a timer, it's just a case that it's going to be out game timer anyway, so just leave it for an hour or so if you're growing plants anyhow, and then come back and pick it up. Lovely jubbly. Excellent. So I just need to find another batch of those yellow plants, a little gamma root in the wild. I've just jumped in my ship and out of my ship to create a save, realised I didn't hit up that beacon and grab my navigational data. Everyone loves a freebie, heck, freebie, yes! And taken off, and I'm looking for another batch of yellow plants. There they are. Go grab these, and I should have enough lubricants now. Enough lubricants to make my living glass, which means then, with that actual cobalty solar mirror that I just picked on up, I should be able to make the dream Ariel. And then that concludes this episode, doesn't it really? But I'm going to show you the full interaction with a freighter, a living frigate I should say, and my interactions, and my stats come back as one. It comes back terrible. So don't do what I do, I guess. Choose different options, I guess. I don't know if there's a right or wrong way of doing this, but I get a really shite living frigate. So here we go, I'll show you my living frigate. So I made myself the Dream Aerial, and all you then do is pulse into space until you get this interaction pop up, and then you interact with the actual living frigate. Winner, winner, chicken frickin' dinner. Yes, so here comes all of my choices and what I picked-icated. You know what? I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So you can see the text better. And I'm going to play some music. And I'm just going to be quiet for a bit. Let you listen to some music and read. Oh, I feel a speculation video coming on based on this screenshot. Sorry, I just done a quick still here. But look at these 3 different planetary biome type things that we get a choice of. A bustling alien metropolis, an idiom-veined mountains, and megafauna ecosystem. Could it be that they're thinking about bringing these 3 into iteration? I can only but hope. They did say their list is getting weirder. That's freaking awesome. I love megafauna ecosystems. Right, and here is my shite frigate. Look at that. Just ones all the way down. Right, well, I'm going to make something. I'm going to make some food and I'm going to feed it. And we're going to see if we can improve those stats. I'm going to show you a really simple recipe that you can try at home with the plants that you've got inside of your freighter. If you've gone and added in the same plants I have, you know, the gamma, and also, but I've just used the gamma plant. I'll just use one plant. Just use the one freaking plant, Captain Steve. Yes, we're just going to use the gamma plant. Solid. So let's go inside of our freighter, jump out the ship. So we're creating an autosave. So we've got that one banked. Yes. Make sure you do that. Yeah, you definitely want to save this if you've just got yourself your living frigate for the first time. Sweet. It would be nice to have got an S-class one, wouldn't it? Because your first one's free. All the ones afterwards, you've got to spend a shiny penny on or two. Now, they have decreased the amount that you pay for your living frigates, which is good, because they were like a billion units at one point, but now they're not, so it's quite good. They've decreased it like by a massive factor. Right, so here we go. We're just going to get the gamma root. I'm going to stick it over that side, and that's going to make these little things. Seviant beans, or whatever that is. Siviant, I don't know, whatever they are, however you pronounce that. But I'm only going to make 4. You know, we don't need much. You could make 2 actually. But there we go. Now I'm just going to put these away. Boom. Pick that up, split the stack by pressing square, and then pick that stack up, put it there, and that's going to make fibrous stew. Boom! Coming at you, Kronos. Yeah, you get quite a fair bit for fibrous stew. It's not too bad as a thing. It's very easy to craft. It's low tier, so it's not going to have a massive effect. But hopefully it's going to be better than having ones all the way across the freaking board. Right, well, let's go and find my little freighter, my little living guy, the Only Princia. Okay, here we go, Holy Princia. I'm going to be feeding you fibrous stew. Have that. Chicka-boom. Look at that. The trade just jumped to 16. 11116. I can live with that. That's fine. And yeah, plus 15 on trading. Brilliant. Lovely jubbly. There you go. So I've just fed that frickin' little critter. Lovely jubbly. I don't think I've got any missions that I can send it out on, but that's what you would do with it. You'd send it on missions now. They don't break. They do come back as a bit ravenous though, and you have to feed them again. If they come back red, they just need feeding. Anyway, people, that's all I've got for you. Until next time. Goodbye, and goodbye again. Well, thank you very much for watching. If you like what you see, please hit a like and a subscribe. And I'd like to say a massive, great big thank you to all of my backers over on Patreon and over on YouTube membership. Thanking you, backers. And if you want to support this channel, just don't skip the adverts. That throws revenue down my avenue. Or yeah, just stay with Captain Steve that little bit longer and hit something on this screen. There's merch here now too.